So I'm wearing an off-the-shelf one today. Let's see if we can make something that's a little bit better and bespoke that will fit me. I'm Magnus Ström from Ström Architects, and I'm here at Cad The Dandy with James Sleater.
I'm the owner of 2 tailoring companies on Savile Row. The newest company that I set up, it was in 2008, and I also own the second oldest company on Savile Row called Norton & Sons.
I love the idea about different industries and how they approach design. For us, when we start a new piece of architecture, we always start with the client and the brief. So we try to understand how they want to live in a house and what's important to them.
I think tailoring is about, as I say, understanding the customer, what they want, and we're trying to give them the vision of the best version of themselves.
I suppose that's very similar to the architecture in that way, whereas when you have something that's really tailored for you, it actually enhances the way you live in that space. And I suppose that's similar with how you live in it's tailored garment.
Tailoring enhances you, it makes you feel good. You know, if ever I'm feeling slightly unwell, I always dress up because instantly you feel better.
We make decisions, thousands of decisions every day when we're designing a building, and every little decision is very important in its own right. But when they come together, that creates that je ne sais quoi.
Yeah.
Do you feel the same about tailoring and how that enhances people's experience?
Is using our bank of knowledge and our experience to work out what those constituent parts are, how we make that little garment perfect, whether it be just building in a little bit of shape on the lapel or angling pockets slightly differently. It's the sum total of all of those is what makes that suit sing.
Yeah.
Fundamentally, when you're having a suit made, apart from all the different design permutations, we have to try and narrow down from 30,000 cloths to the one. We used to have a guy that worked for us, and he always used to say to a customer, we're not actually making you a suit, we're putting scaffolding around you upon which we drape cloth. Always used to make me laugh. How do you, when a customer approaches you and says, I want a 4-bedroom house and I've got a plot of land, what's the starting process?
We normally identify what we call 2 briefs. One is a soft brief and one is a hard brief. The hard brief is what everyone thinks is a brief. I want 4 bedrooms, I want a living room. But I'm actually very often more interested in what a soft brief is.
Yeah.
And what I mean by that is, how do you live in the house? What does your week look like? Do you like, watching TV? Do you like having dinner? Do you having friends over? Do you have extended families? What is important to you? For most of them, there is a sense of family and what's important to them, but people live differently and they have different stages of life.
Yeah. We use a sort of computer render that we've built ourselves, so we can change all the different facets of a suit on here. So for example, I can show you what a 3-button suit would look like. It's pretty old fashioned now. Not many people want a 3-button suit, but it shows you that it shortens the lapel. A 1-button jacket, for example, again, just makes the lapel a little bit longer. It's making everything a bit more simplistic and I think a little bit more elegant.
How do you drill down to that brief with the client and guide them through that process?
You can look at someone and know instinctively what's going to look best on them. It's about judgment of where to put things and how to make all of those facets of that suit sing harmoniously. So a lot of the measurements we take aren't just
for show, isn't it?
Well, they're not, no. Things aren't literal. You could measure me, but the suit would look rubbish. So it's about making a judgment on where I think we want to put the seam for your shoulders, for example. So this is our assumption of your chest size, but it's not going to take into account things like sleeve lengths and personal style choices and everything else. But what it allows me to do is just to see how things sit on you. So it's a bit like wallpapering over a lumpy wall, right? It shows certain things. So I can see a little rippling of the cloth here, your shoulder blades. So when we make this shoulder, we shrink the cloth here to give us more cloth across your shoulder blades for movement. But I can see your shoulder blades are quite prominent, so you need a bit more cloth here. It's super helpful to see in this because you can see this is happening.
Yep.
And so this is all governed by shoulders. So in essence, the jacket needs to sit more on you here. And it's where and how we build that shape in. And the way to show the shape on a jacket is to show the difference between the narrow bits and the wide bits. So we want to give shape without making things tight. If we make things tight, it's going to restrict movement. So it's actually about not making things with straight lines, but with curvature to give you
a movement as well.
To build everything in 3D. We don't want things tight because we know we need to put wallets and phones and our lives in our pockets, but we still want to have all this shape. First fit looks pretty good.
Yeah.
So what's your why?
My why? I have always really been interested in design and architecture. And it's really about how can we design something that enhances your everyday life?
Yeah. I find it a really addictive process. I'm talking from a position, I've got 200 suits. You don't get the instant gratification of clicking an Amazon deliver it 2 minutes later.
Yeah.
But it's the journey that you go on that I think makes it.
That's also about human experience.
Mm.
I think that in a world that is fast and relentless, they're seeking a slower pace of life, they're seeking connection, they're seeking better relationships, they're seeking nature. All those things are working against what the fast demanding world is asking us. But it's also slow living, perhaps, that we can actually live at a pace that is more suited to us as human beings.
There's so much intrinsic time and effort that goes into a suit that can't be replicated by a computer, that can't be replicated by AI technology. It's touch and feel, it's that knowledge.
Reflecting more holistically on architecture or tailoring, it's clients being able to sit down there and they go like, we talked about this for years, sitting right in this space, having the morning sun hitting. And you told me the sun will hit that mountaintop right there and come here. And it does exactly that. It's when you come full circle and you're creating those moments. And that's those years of working through something, the human experience, to create those unique user experiences. When clients sometimes just sit in their home and they say like, what's your favorite thing about the house? It's sitting in this chair here, having that view. One of our clients, we designed a house for a couple that were in the mid-70s, and they said that this is the best decision we had designed this house in 50 years of marriage.
Wow.
Which I thought is the ultimate compliment.
Yeah, exactly.
Nevertheless, they did have 3 children, so I thought that was perhaps slightly misplaced, but it was nevertheless a really fantastic compliment to have, and how you can help shape someone's life, and that makes me happy.